But first, I just want to start by talking to you about your upbringing and where you're from originally.
Yeah, so I was born here.
Okay.
Lived here, started university here.
Okay.
Up until 1997.
Okay.
And, you know, for those who are familiar with Sierra Leone history, 1997 was a year of conflict. So I had to leave.
Yeah.
And went to the UK for 10 years. And then came back in 2007 to set up shop here.
Okay.
That's a very short version of
sure.
It's a very short and clean version of my life up until that point.
Okay, what did you study in university?
I was doing economics faculty. I was doing sociology.
Okay.
Partly because of the lack of options
right.
in those days. But my true love was really tech stuff.
Okay, tech stuff.
Yeah.
So you're really into technology. You studied sociology.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pursue a career in that before coming to Sierra Leone, back to Sierra Leone, or when you came back to Sierra Leone?
No, actually, because I couldn't finish university.
Okay.
So I only did about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then, all hell sort of broke loose in Freetown, so I had to leave.
Yeah.
And then once I left and got back to the UK, what I actually studied was a mix of marketing and IT.
Got it. Okay.
War or conflict was officially done in, I think, 2002.
Okay, right.
So I was still in London at the time, but still coming back home at any opportunity that I had.
Okay.
And basically in 2007, I decided to make it permanent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so when did you start VSL?
In 2004.
Okay.
As a passion project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I had started it even before I decided to come back home. It was one of the reasons why I decided to come back home.
Okay.
And I mentioned that I studied IT and marketing.
Right.
And during the times that I used to come here, I got really frustrated. excuse me, about what I call a war industry, or Sierra Leone war industry. So every time you Google some stuff, it's all really, really negative.
Right.
And everyone who had come here to help with the conflict was now writing books, and there's all sorts of movies. There's probably the early days of YouTube, all sorts of weird stuff, coming up. So I just decided that, you know what, I've always believed in the potential of the tourism industry here in Sierra Leone, despite all the challenges.
Right.
And because I felt like I could do it, I thought I'll just build a website that shows people an alternative site to Sierra Leone, rather than what was out there at the time.
Right.
So that's at the core of really what VSL is still.
Okay.
Yeah.
And VSL, by the way, stands for Visit Sierra Leone.
Visit Sierra Leone, yeah.
Tell us how it started and where we are now, because it sounds like it started more just a tourism site.
Yeah.
But there's so much more now. So can you talk about what the core elements to what VSL is today? Yeah.
So it started, I would say, almost like an information-based website. So yeah, initially it was mainly information-based.
Okay.
That was the primary objective, and also, I had this core belief that Sierra Leone was entering a phase of sort of recovery.
Yep.
And there's as you know, investment is driven by confidence.
100%.
You can talk about recovery as much as you like, but if people don't get to see something positive, you're really going nowhere.
Right.
So that's why I sort of decided to put all this information out there that wasn't maybe readily available at the time. I mean, 2004, you're talking about a time when, the majority of hotels, they didn't have websites. Even the National Tourism Board didn't have a website.
Right.
The Ministry of Tourism, it didn't have a website.
Wow.
So there was definitely a gap there.
Yeah.
For something positive and something fresh.
Right.
So that's how we started. But of course, once you start, people, because there's nothing else like you out there, people start reaching out to you.
Right.
I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, can you help? And I always knew that it's important to build a business model behind what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable.
Right.
There's a lot other initiatives that were around at the time that really are not around anymore. Yeah, there were gaps because people needed information. People were still coming to Sierra Leone.
Right.
People were looking for places to stay. people needed vehicles, they needed services that they couldn't wait until they get in country to sort those things out. So there we were, you know, basically as a man in the middle. So then we started booking hotels for people, you know, just arranging vehicles for people and just trying to sort out issues that people had, you know, when they were traveling here. So that's how the business model sort of emerged. It was always going to emerge, but that wasn't the crux of why we started. But I always knew at the back of my mind that it's important, if I wanted to create or continue doing, you know, what I enjoy doing, which is putting Sierra Leone out there, we have to be able to sustain it, and the only way we can do that is by having a business element to it.
All right, guys, thanks for watching that clip from the Authentic African YouTube channel. If you want to see the full video, click up here. If you want to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this link right here. And if you want to see anything more from the channel, then you want to click down here. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you all in the next video.